My name is Karen Richardson. I completed stage 1 in a previous class for my master's, and so today I will be going through stage 2 of my research proposal. I chose to do the effects of implementing ability grouping on 4th grade students. Why I chose this topic? I chose this topic because each day teachers see students that are not ready for the grade they are in. And as the skills become progressively challenging, they fall behind more and more each day. Educators are in constant panic because once students fall so far behind, they must start looking at individual education plans. So, in doing this research, I want to effectively look for ways to reduce the constant panic of trying to catch students up, help close academic achievement gaps, help students build self confidence and self esteem, and lastly, I want to see the impact ability grouping can have on the academic achievement of students who are gifted, students who are performing on average, and students who are below average. The identified problem. The problem found students have poor academic performance related to randomized rosters or non-ability grouped rosters. When students are a part of non-ability grouping, they are at risk of having low academic achievement, achievement gaps, low self-esteem. They are also at risk of self-labeling of their own abilities. Teachers place heavy emphasis on reading and math instruction daily. Even with the heavy emphasis and all the time and dedication put into teaching children, it is not always enough. Students need explicit and differentiated instruction, which does not always come easy for both the teacher and the student. My thesis statement for this project is students who are grouped by ability levels are more likely to have greater academic success in core classes such as reading, math, language arts, and science throughout their life. Original data. Given the results from the iReady diagnostic assessments, as you can see in figures 1 through 4, when the students started 4th grade in both reading and math, most of the grade level was performing on a 2nd or 3rd grade level. From August to November in reading, shown in figures 1 and 2, there was a small gain in reading and 20% of the class went up to 4th grade level. However, 50% of the class was still performing on a 2nd and 3rd grade level. In math, shown in figures 3 and 4, there were more significant gains than reading. This class went from 15% performing on a 4th grade level to 32%. However, over half of the class, 68% to be exact, was still performing on a 2nd or 3rd grade level as of October. The data proves that there is not enough growth to catch students up to where they need to be if they are already behind or struggling. There is not enough time in the school day with all of the daily demands to meet everyone's academic needs. Background investigations. Many educators of elementary school children have practiced at least one form of ability grouping during their tenure in the classroom. There was a study conducted by Slavin in 2015. His findings stated that in order for ability grouping to be effective at the elementary level, it must create true homogeneity on the specific skill being taught, and instruction must be closely tailored to the students' levels of performance. In the 2018 Brown Center report on American education reported that from 2012 to 2018, the percentage of 4th grade teachers implementing ability-based reading groups increased from 28% to 71%. In that same report, there was an increase in math ability grouping from 40% to 61% from 2012 to 2018. In a research done by CTSO, the results show that students who are placed in ability groups can sustain significant gains in the classroom. The research also shows that putting students into groups based on their ability level is beneficial. According to Slavin, in 2015, students who are selected to be in a classroom through randomized rosters or non-ability group rosters tend to have poor academic performance. I believe that students who are placed in groups according to their individual ability level allows teachers to close academic achievement gaps more quickly. More background investigation and population. Oak Park Elementary School is an elementary school ranging from pre-K to 5th grade. The school is located in a low-income area. The test scores in this school often fall below the state average. Overall, there are 540 students. The population of this study will be for all fourth graders entering into the fourth grade. It is approximately 60 students. Sampling method and sampling description. This is a part of my action plan. The research will be conducted through a quantitative study using mixed methods for data collection. All students in the fourth grade will participate in the study. The sampling technique will be conducted through stratified sampling, since the students will be broken into groups by abilities and scores. Students will be placed into strata groups based on the ability that the data provides. Collaborative efforts. The administrators, educational team, experts, and the research team will all collaborate to finalize the study. The experiment will be a group effort. The fourth grade teachers will need to work with the research team. This experiment will be new to teachers, so assistance can be provided. Standards set by the state will still need to be followed to ensure maximum results. The study will use a standardized test iReady to monitor student achievement. This is the instrumentation instrument that will be used to monitor student achievement. Internal and external validity. The pre-test and post-test are the instruments that will be utilized in the study to collect data. The assessment will show what skills the students are lacking. The assessment is reliable because all educators can use iReady to show how much a student knows and does not know. The test is randomized with questions and caters to each individual child's ability level. The post-test data will show what students have learned and how much progress has been made over the 4 months. Teachers will be observed and detailed observation notes will be taken. Teachers will collaborate and discuss the results of the observations. Teachers will also use iReady diagnostic data as a tool to derive instruction. Procedures. There will be 2 fourth grade classes involved in the study. At the beginning of the school year, a standardized iReady test will be given to each student. There will be a control group and an experimental group. The control group will be students who are selected through a randomized or non-ability roster. Then there will be an experimental group that will be placed into ability grouping using their ability level of high, middle, and low. For both groups, data will be collected using mixed methods for quantitative data. The teacher will use iReady diagnostic checks to assess independent student growth. Even though the groups are not randomly selected, each student will have an equal opportunity to participate in the study. Ethical considerations. All data collected on individual subjects will be held in confidence, and names will not be used throughout the study to maintain confidentiality. The research included in this study involves activities that are customary and usual procedures for public schools, which will involve little to no risk to participants. Parents will give their consent to allow students to participate in the study. In addition to consent forms, students will also be assigned a number to ensure confidentiality. Special populations. Appropriate accommodations and differentiation methods will be maintained according to IEP and 504 guidelines. English language learners will be appropriately accommodated according to their learning plan. Present results. It is proven and clear that students have poor academic performance related to randomized rosters or non-ability group rosters. There are more learning opportunities when grouping students by ability and more room for growth. I believe that ability grouping would change education for the greater good. It is an educational approach that places students in groups based on academic achievement. In order to see student achievement growth, the data will need to show that students are no longer behind and are achieving on grade level in reading and in math. Reflection. I would change the study to include 2nd and 3rd grade students. The timeline of which the data would be collected, I would change it to a full year instead of 4 months. Additional research. I would conduct additional research to find ways to track student achievement for students who are grouped according to their ability. I would also visit schools that have been successful with ability grouping.